A very good evening, everyone. Welcome to this Something for Nothing poker stream on Sunday. I hope that everyone is doing well. Um, yeah, it's been a interesting week. Uh, we had some weird internet issues here and there, so sadly there was no stream last Wednesday. We are very sorry for that. But I guess we're happy to be here. Mr. Boomer, how are you doing?
Not too bad. God, I just want a hand when I wasn't even playing. It's the way you play cards. Hey, guys, you want to know something? Whenever you're feeling like a moron, I'll just go with an interesting snippet. Kim Kardashian played poker wearing mirrored sunglasses.
Yeah, I saw that once.
And
Yeah,
it's,
that's kind of yeah.
uh, yeah, it's a Kardashian thing, isn't it? We're having wonderful 30 fucking plus degrees weather out here, which is really bad when you want to just bludge around, but I suppose it's a good excuse. And what else has happened? Our wonderful Australians have given all those Englishmen a hiding in a sport called cricket that the rest of the world doesn't understand unless you're part of the colonies. So, yeah, we just gave them nearly a clean sweep. So we're all happy, and all the Englishmen are hiding because although they don't care, we know their butt hurt. And we're going to try and get him a bulk deal on butthurt cream. Speaking of butthurt cream, I reckon Mallory might be here, so I'll just flip it over to Mallory so I can change my name. How are you, Mallory?
I did order a crate of butt hurt cream, so thanks for reminding me that I'd have to check the mail room for that. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you.
Oh, really? What about other things? You got any quality migraine stuff or, I don't know, Dawson quality hoops to jump through, anything like that?
Um, the hoops got sold out, so did the migraine pills, so business is doing great.
Oh, wonderful. Healing crystals X. Oh, well. All right.
Oh yeah, it's claymore crystals. Yes, yes. Nice.
So is that going to flip us over to Flint there? And so it's Flint in the background. Is he having a conversation or is he doing with it? Are you there, Flint?
Yeah, I'm here.
You are. Okay.
I'm. I am here. I'm present.
You are suddenly a little bit quiet.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
quiet, too loud. What do you want? Shall I yell now? Now I'm well talking directly into the microphone, or did my settings just got haywire? That happens. No, they didn't.
You're asking us.
Yeah,
Dude, we're Globers. We can't tech. Globers can't tech. Well, we're
I
pretend
should
Globers.
be
Some of
able
us
to
apparently
tech. I mean, it's basically my job description. If
yeah. I know a guy, right, who actually he teaches Japanese. Sorry, he teaches English in Japan, and he doesn't know Japanese. He just basically has a dictionary. So yeah, in your job description doesn't necessarily mean if you're a translator you know the language. So are you back with us, Flint, or not? Have you got something to talk about, or are we just going to have you as a pet in the background?
uh, anything funny happened to me? Not in particular, actually. Basically, just having my presentation coming up and all the exams. Yeah, that's about that. Not much more. Uh, Otherwise, it's going good so far.
Well, are you out of? Are you still in Christmas mode, or are you back out of work mode, or like what's happening in the life that is Flint? Or are you just going to curl up and I don't know, decay into nothing, into dust?
No, basically, I didn't have had any vacation days over New Year's, nothing at all. So just work and though I only working 50%, so my weekend is rather long. So there's at least that, and yeah, not much more currently. Well, I got my antenna mask going. That's happened. Uh,
Your what? Sorry.
Antenna mast. It's a thing where you can attach an antenna to, and then telescope. bringing it up to about 40 meters height. So, yeah, that's what I did on the hat.
This sounds like this sounds like ham radio stuff.
Yes. I'll also
I
want to
thought,
get some stuff for another system which is called Arden. Anyway, it is for long distance communication for emergencies to use. So yeah, it's gonna be fun. Let's see if I get devices for that.
Okay, sounds great.
Hmm.
How have you been, Boomer?
right now I'm trying to work out why I can't see the chat. I can see the chat on the actual stream, on the picture of the stream, but I can't see the chat on, the proper normal chat you see. Kind of weird. Maybe I should refresh the page. And playing cards and looking around and seeing, where are all these people I've sent out invites to? They must be waking up.
Probably, yeah.
So you want some great Australian sporting news? Seeing as I did start with cricket before, I should have let in the old Dockich. What's his first name? Is it Nova? Novak Dockich. Didn't test. What did he do? Didn't he tested positive to corona and went to Spain or something? So the Serb in Spain, I don't know, reigns mainly on the plane or whatever. Then came back, then lied on his immigration form, and then we've decided to throw him out, which is what you do with sportsmen, because we just kind of, they're entitled bastards. But what did he do? He did all the usual things like, I got my team to fill out my card, my immigration form. Now, I seem to remember we were in the US. We were filling out each other's forms for each other, and I even said there's cocaine in your suitcase in America, and that didn't. Yeah, I mean, they've got a great sense of humour, these dudes in customs. You always do jokes with the customs officer, and they remember you. So anyway, it's political football. Here's a good thing about political football in Australia. Judges don't give a flying fuck. They just do what the law is. They're not influenced by political outcomes. So anyway, Dokic, he's now been
Djokovic,
pretty much piffed out of the country. Yeah, he's pretty much been piffed out of the country. So if you're and he's not number one seed in tennis. So if you're number 2, 3, 4, or 5, you're probably rubbing your hands together thinking, beautiful, I've got a chance at making a few extra mil. There's another zero in the bank account. But now, though, when you look at it, he can add, Novak can add this to his title because he's good on the hard court, the grass court, and now the law court. So he's really got another stringer in his bow.
Yeah.
And will I lead on to the leaked news report that everyone heard of, our wonderful news reporters saying he's an arsehole, an entitled prick. And the company that were doing the subtitles for the news, the guy who leaked that got the arse, which is rightfully so, because although it's funny as fuck listening to a couple of reporters swear their tits off, whoever did it's a privacy impingement. So if you're going to leak shit like that, you do expect to lose your job. So if you're going to sell the story, make sure you get a lot of money for it, because you're probably going to need enough to retire on it. But yeah, it was so funny. You heard the news report, so
oh yeah, that was kind of cool. Yeah. Now, for those who maybe quickly wind back for those 2 people in the world that didn't hear what happened. So
the 2 people.
There are 2 people in the world who haven't heard what happened. So you guys are going to have the Australian Open soon, right?
Yes.
And yeah, so a bunch of tennis players are coming to the tournament, and not just the tournament rules, but pretty much the rules to get into the country is you either have to be vaccinated or you have to have negative tests to up to the wazoo, right?
Yeah, that's correct.
Or you need to have you need to have had COVID a couple of months, no more than like 3 months ago or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he sort of had it started out with really fake like he had medical exemptions. That's where it started with, from what I can remember. And he was fake about what kind of medical exemptions he had. really fake. And then it's kind of turned out that well, maybe the people from the Australian Open and some local politician there said, like, don't worry, we have your back. We help you with the forms, and it will be fine. Don't worry. Even though you're an anti-vaxxer, we'll do you a solid, so to speak. And that he came at the national customs, and they were not up for that shit. That's basically what I understand from the gist of the situation.
Mhm. Yep.
Yeah, and then it
Now-
came to court, and then it turned out that his medical exemption was that he had COVID. But the funny thing was that when he was supposed to have COVID, he was in Spain. So he had traveled, and he had also marked on his immigration form that he did not travel in the last few months. So not only did he lie on his immigration form, he also either traveled with COVID or he lied about having COVID.
I think that that's the first thing didn't go through is because it was incorrectly charged
Yeah.
and handled correctly. So I completely agree that the charges are then like go off. Though now that actually was the Minister of Immigration, correct me if I'm wrong, because I'm for sure getting the title wrong. Then made called upon his power and said, yeah, well, I'm not going to let him in because, yeah, well, too many people had to do a lot of things, and so we couldn't allow the country.
You're
Yeah.
very
Good.
quiet.
Because I think
We've
that's
lost
the
you
right
again.
thing to do.
We've lost you again, mate. You're really quiet. So
Okay, Boomer. Now I'm gonna do that. What you don't want to do? I'm turning up my mic gain.
yeah,
It's
it's
actually
not. I've never said don't.
What?
That's better.
There is
Now it's no.
isn't there somewhere in between?
Yeah.
let me quickly check something because I think I'm gonna restart Jitsi quickly.
Okay.
Okay.
So yeah,
Well, look, let's just get on to it. What those defending him, right, have come up with the look. Here's something about him. The guy, although he makes millions of dollars, he's quite well off. He does donate a lot. Like he did donate to the bushfire appeal here in Australia some time back, and he has won 9 Australian Opens. So he's pretty. We're acquainted with him. He's donated a lot of money to different places, and look, in a sense, he's not a total arsehole. But the big problem is neither is Carlos Escobar because he contributed more to the Colombian economy than the fucking government did. But at the end of the day, because you give thousands of dollars to charities, doesn't allow you to spread corona. It's that whole thing of, oh, he's a good bloke. Yeah, well.
doesn't
sorry,
also
listen.
doesn't put you above anyone else. I mean, if I were put in an immigration hotel and then kicked out of the country as soon as possible over something like this, then so should he. Just because he knows how to hit a ball really hard shouldn't put him above anyone else.
Correct. But
Uh,
here it goes. We do.
Didn't Djokovic being in the immigration hotel had like a sort of a interesting side effect that now because there was a celebrity in the immigration hotel, suddenly there was an extra spotlight on the situation in immigration hotels.
Yeah, well, that's the interesting thing because it has drawn attention to one guy who's been in detention for, no, was it 8,000 days? Whatever. I think it was
Yeah,
3 years or something. Sorry.
I saw something like that, and didn't they tell him like, oh, at the first they told him, oh, you'll be out and back to your country in like 4 days or something like that. they first told him that, and now he's like
Yeah.
there for 3,000 days or something like that.
Yeah. So the funny thing about it is, if we take that, okay, have a crack. Go on, Boop. Come at me, bro. Come on, come on. Oh, you've done the call.
Okay.
Oh, I thought you would have scared you off. You're at me, are you? The straight baby with a pair. Sorry, I just had to rub that in. I'm being a bad loser today.
Yes.
Okay,
Sometimes you
bad
have to
winner.
give the
Sorry.
win to bring a smile upon
Uh,
your face, Boomer.
I,
I got.
I'm taking advantage of it because I can
But
pay you down the
I
coffee.
Yeah,
also
I got scared shit.
I also heard, and I just heard that in passing, things about maggots in the food and stuff like that.
Yeah. Oh, we've got the worst. Yeah, like people going about human rights violations in China, but our conservative government, mate, they are a pack of pricks. It's like they're running it into the ground so they can privatise it. But gee, who would do that?
Yeah.
In fact, one of our yeah, but that's the whole political shit. I won't even touch that because our government. I mean, these dickheads keep voting them in. I've openly campaigned against them, and people say I don't do politics. So okay, you don't do politics. We'll put up with the shit they feed you on a spoon if you're going to keep eating it. I'll keep feeding it to you. But yeah, he has. That's a positive that's come out of it. How bad
Well,
hotel
yeah,
detention is.
I'm a bit mixed about the positivity about that, because even though I think it's a positive thing that's it's brought to light, it's very sour that it has to be a celebrity being in that situation, that it that it had to be brought to light. That is the way
Well,
it had to be brought to light, you know. But
isn't it funny though how celebrities sometimes get themselves in troubles? Like after there's a hurricane or something, you suddenly see an ailing celebrity out there, like helping out the poor and all that. Like, is this all? Look, to a high degree, it's all self motivation, isn't it? But
oh yeah.
nice one, full house there. Yeah. So anyway, and that's tennis. And I got to say, is that game where the ball? We all have a tennis ball, but very rarely do any of us ever actually play tennis.
Honestly,
Has anyone ever run out there with
I only watch women tennis.
Funny you should mention that. Yeah. And why would you only watch women's tennis? Because of the exceptional ball skills and the way they
Yeah.
manage to, the athletic ability, the prowess. I do find women's tennis almost as entertaining as indoor women's beach volleyball.
Yeah.
It's the sporting skill I find. Yeah.
Yeah, it's absolutely not because I'm a sexist prick that likes short skirts. Absolutely not. How about you,
Well, you
Merrily?
could say that.
How about you, Merrily? What is your opinion about women's tennis?
I don't care for it. I don't care for sports. Anything that's ball shaped kind of sports, I just don't watch it. Unless it's hockey or curling.
Well, that's. I was about to say you two sports don't. Okay, curling. Yes. Do you know? Mm, Um. So what? Okay, let's get to the chase because obviously you're going to try and skirt around it. What's your favourite perv sport? Because that's what the question really is.
Would that be synchronized swimming?
Oh, nice choice.
Just love a bunch of wet women just doing everything in sync. They're organized.
Twiddling their toes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I always wonder who came up with that idea. Like, I know, I can swim and do acrobatics, and hey, I can do it too, and let's do it together. Like how do these sports come about?
Okay, I think
Curling, I can understand.
I think there were a couple of dancers, right? In Atlantis. There were dancers in Atlantis. And we all know what happened to Atlantis. And suddenly the dancers were like, well, what do we do now? You know what? We just keep on dancing. But in the water. And that is how synchronized
well.
swimming.
How sports came
Oh.
about by doing stuff, but if
Yeah.
Can you
Well,
even hear me?
Yes,
well,
we
we
can.
now. Yeah.
Good, well, or horrible?
Well, yeah. It seems pretty good now.
If
Okay.
you don't sing, it won't sound horrible. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
No, you're on the money there. That's cool.
Just tell me when it gets too loud and need to adjust, because somehow my settings got borked up and Firefox just completely messed up. I don't know.
Firefox does that sometimes.
Yeah.
You know, like a sport like curling, I can see how that developed. Yeah, here we are, frozen lake. We're looking around the place. We've got a broom. We've got people. They're bored. We've got this big, I don't know, rock. Yeah, we're going to sweep the lake and see how far we can throw the rock. It just there's a natural progression to it. But other sports, you could just think, what were they thinking? Like, I mean, cricket. Let's take out some bits of wood and hit other bits of wood with. Oh yeah, no, you get fascinated by trying to think, how does this
I
game
have
work?
different. I have a
Anyway.
I have a different theory on synchronized swimming. It was synchronized ice skating first, but then there was, but then there was a heat
Now
wave.
there, yeah. Global warming. It was It was ice skating after global warming developed. Just the thing though. Your level's good now, Flint. Except when you're gonna laugh like that, just lean back from the mic because that was ear rape.
I mean, though I could
Well,
do that, but then it would actually need to physically move away from my desk.
Uh,
And I'm very lazy. I just put down the volume now a little, so if I laugh, it's not that much. Just tell me when it's too much.
okay,
I adjust.
okay.
okay.
And we got Facty and Jen. If you just want to come in, guys, because I've now reloaded my page and I've got a proper loading page happening. So Facty or Jen, either you just want to join us? We've got a couple of spaces ready. Or they probably, in fact, I don't think they consented to the body cavity search. Is that right? Did they tick the body cavity search on their immigration papers? If you're not COVID friendly, or sorry, if you're COVID if you don't have COVID, you can come in. Jen or Facty? Answer, if you please. So where were we there before we got interrupted? Oh, we're going on about developments of certain sports. That was almost going in a good direction, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, actually, there's a sport which I think you could also think about. How did that come about? It's called Hornussen. It's basically it's like a hockey puck, but a bit smaller. And the aim of the goal of the sport is that you have a beater, which is actually yeeting that thing with a device over the field about 100, 200 meters, really far, the good ones. And then the other team tries to block them with shields by throwing them into the air, and it really looks like something when you watch it. Like, how the heck did that come about?
Okay. Well, here's one that is the opposite. Caber tossing. Two Scotsmen, obviously drunk, because we all know how drunk Scots people get. And there's a telegraph pole there. And there's one, I bet you I can throw it further than you can. I'll have you, lad. Thus, the caber toss was born. I mean, you can understand if you know how Scotsmen tick. So, what are other sports, though? I don't know. I always doubt, yeah.
What's else? It's less specific to my country.
Oh, cheese rolling. That's a biggie.
Oh yeah.
the cheese. Oh, canal jumping. Guys in Holland designed canal jumping, which makes good sense because if you can pole vault through a canal, you can escape the enemy pretty quickly. Because if they can't pole vault, obviously you've got a water barrier between you and the enemy.
Well, also, we have a lot of canals, and to build a bridge over every canal is so most canals we just jump over. Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a special jumping unit on my mobility scooter that sort of launches my mobility scooter with me on it over the canal.
Wicked.
That's
So, like the
awesome.
JATO, jet assisted takeoff unit, is that like what they put on the planes for taking off on short runways? They put those little jet things that might give you the extra boost.
No, it's like a it's a little air pressure thing that with air pressure that sort of metal bar comes down from a mobility scooter and sort of pushes it off from the ground, and it just sort of jettisons itself. It's not always. It doesn't always work. Several people drown each year because the whole system fails. So luckily, I can swim. I'm usually good when it goes wrong, but yeah.
I mean, for a reason, somebody invented boats, you know?
Yeah, but
Facty's got a question. Facty has a question in the chat, guys. What did they use for hockey pucks when hockey was invented? Now, I actually know this. Anyone want to have a crack at it? It's actually kind of
Probably
not what
like
you
an
think.
old stale burger, like like a burger patty, maybe.
Okay,
Rocks.
fair one.
I'd say
What about
rocks.
our European? A rock, you reckon? Yeah. What do you think, Ardawen?
well, okay. What they did is that after they burned down the White House, there was some rubble left over, and they took that rubble and they crafted that in actually the first hockey pucks ever made. And they were just rubble, and it's like, oh, we have to invent some kind of game with this, and that is how hockey was born
I like
from
that.
the rubble from the White House that they burned down.
Well, unfortunately, guys, no one got that one correct, and the correct answer is a frozen cow pat. So cow shit was the
What?
originator
Oh,
of
I
the
was
original hockey
close.
puck.
It was still cow. Close enough.
You were, yeah.
Close.
I'd give you half a point.
Yeah.
Half a point on
I
that one.
was,
Close.
I was
There we
actually
go.
Okay.
thinking about something like that. It's like, yeah,
Damn.
maybe that, because it has the shape. And
Well,
after somebody
if-
who already stepped into some of those a couple of times, I have to say, yep, be glad that cows can't fly. Just be glad.
Cows can fly if you watch Monty Python movies or catapults. In fact, oh God, I'm full of these. This is really up my alley today. They used to use catapults. They used to fling cows around to spread the plague back in the, I don't know, whenever the plague was a chemical warfare thing. They actually used to put the cows in the catapult, put them into the castle. Hey, have some anthrax, my friends, or whatever it happened to be. Have some bubonic plague. And of course, they would then catapult them back out at the enemy too. So yeah, there you go. I God, I'm full of amazing death stories about humans today. Fuck, I must be on a roll.
Well, if we kind of revolve back to sports, did you guys actually hear about this this team, this sports team that kind of got into trouble with because of a photo of their mascot?
Nope.
So the
No.
Portland Pickles. God, these team names sometimes. They kind of got into trouble because they're posting photos of their team mascot, but one of the photos, well, it was a bit suggestive. Let me kind of see if I can put it off to. So it said the text that came with it said, "New phone, who dis?" And obviously it is the hand of the mascot, but as you can imagine, some people kind of took it the other way.
I've wondered why.
It was a pickle, so it looked like a dick. Is that what we're getting at?
Yeah. And so they kind of
Sounds like good marketing, actually.
so they kind of got into a pickle over that.
Ah. Oh.
Funny.
Sorry,
Wait.
I'm sorry, guys. I've got to award Facty with a dad joke medal because these are rare, but counterpulse. He's done a dad joke on me. Beautiful work, Facty. I love your style. And Jin points out that elephants cannot fly, unless, of course, they're named Dumbo, because I think Dumbo was a flying elephant, but that's okay. We'll turn a blind eye to a Disney cartoon character.
You know,
So was it the Portland Pickles?
the Portland Pickles.
Portland Pickles or Portland Pickles, right? Did they make this name up as a joke, or did they try to do that so people take notice?
I have. It's a minor league team. I don't know.
Ah.
You know, I there are so many weird names of team names if they do because just being called like, oh, I don't know, yeah, I would probably also might also be come up with the name Portland Pickles because somehow it sounds right. Portland Pickles, yeah, I can understand.
Well, it does sound a bit. It's a bit more user friendly than the Portland Penises or the Portland Pricks, or so I see the idea, and they probably did the most friendly.
Maybe they got drunk. They got drunk, came up with the Portland Penises on the day that there was the deadline to reveal their name, and they were like, "We can't." You know, and then someone was like, "It's fine, just say pickle," and that is how it became the Portland Pickles. It was to sort of cover up for their drunkenness and saying and saying like, oh yeah, the Portland Penises.
I was bluffing on nothing. I went all in nothing, and you did the same, didn't you, Mel?
Hey, Ardawen.
Double.
Now let's play together poker, right?
Oh yeah, it's a poker game, right? Okay. Oh, I got so in the spirit. Oh, yeah.
Poker game. I thought we were talking about pickles.
Yeah,
No,
it was all this penisy stuff going. I think that's called a distraction, Eddie. Okay. Oh, this is sad. Okay.
Yeah.
I love our background music. What have we got happening tonight? Jazz piano there, is it, Mr. Ardawen?
It's the exactly the same background music as we always have.
Yeah, but you didn't have to say it like that. You could have just said what it was and not point out that we recycle the same olds. Could have had the audience at least.
It's generic copyright-free music number 2.
Ah, thank you. I love generic copyright free. They're a great band. I reckon it's good. In fact, there's someone's been putting flyers for a band on my car, and I've got to say, for fuck's sake, I don't want to see parking violation at the courthouse. So please just stop putting your flyers on my car. I don't like your band name.
Well, it does sound like a great party to watch a band at the courthouse.
Well, Dokovic wasn't there. He already flown out. So
yeah. Oh well.
Dokovic. I love how you pronounce it. By the way, it's just because I hear it correctly in quotation marks all the time, and then I hear it from you. It's like, yeah.
Listen.
There's a reason. Are you familiar with the term docking a sheep? It's a little rubber band, and it involves a very tight little rubber band going around a certain section of a sheep to turn him from a ram to a wether, meaning he doesn't have the old Captain Schlong and he isn't turning to a. So when you dock a sheep, you cut their balls out. So we call him Dokovic because it's sort of it's just an Australian thing.
Yeah, sheep. I was completely expected sheep penises being an Australian thing. Yeah.
No, it's balls actually, but yeah, close enough. I suppose you're in the same area. They do live near. They do cohabitate, I suppose. They are roommates.
Kinda, yes. Well,
someone increased the bed already. What is the correct pronunciation of a Serbian tennis player, anyway?
Novak Djokovic.
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 So you're saying his name is a Djokovic, are you?
It's,
So now that's a
yeah,
dad
well,
joke within.
it's Serbian. Don't question it.
Yeah, and I mean, look, let's look at it overall with Serbians. What have they ever done? It's not like they've ever started a world war or anything, is it? Apart from that one time.
Well,
Hmm.
they had. I mean, they still have a lot of issues over there.
I shot the
sure go.
Kaiser.
Yeah. I didn't
Totally
shoot that
good.
nephew.
But I did not shoot the Empress.
Oh God. Hello, bottom of the barrel. We're here.
Oh no. There's still some rubbish to pull out of this bit. Oh, cool.
You mean
That's almost a
the
parody
through
song.
hole through the deck? Okay, I guess so. Mm.
You
Yeah.
might have just invented a parody song there, Ardo, and I'm going to write that down. That's actually fucking good.
That's what you
Serbian
that's
World War
what you
One.
get. Hyped on Red Bull and high on marijuana. That's what you get. Weird parodies.
How do you spell World War One? Okay, right, I've got that. All right, now I'm in. Okay, I had to write that down. That's actually a fucking good idea, man. I love it.
Well, on that note,
Ah. You know what's not such a good idea?
putting
What, starting wars or?
putting sodium in
Right.
water.
Starting wars is one thing that might not be the best idea. What's also not a good idea is going on a blind date right before a sudden unannounced emergency lockdown.
I mean, well, you would be forced to be together, so I don't see an issue with that.
Well, that might sound nice, but not if the blind date isn't that doesn't go as planned. So no, this is actually seriously what happened in China. There was a woman who went on a blind date to the blind date's house, and there was a swift COVID lockdown, and she wasn't allowed to go home, and now she's stuck at her blind date's house. And well, let's just say that she otherwise would have not stayed the night.
Well,
Ladies and gentlemen, I've got an unfortunate announcement. We've just been had a strict COVID lockdown enforced. We're stuck here indefinitely, all three of us.
Oh damn it!
So time to
4.
hunker down. Yep. I hope you brought plenty of snacks. In
Hide
fact, I hope you
anything
brought
sharp.
some snacks. Did anyone bring some?
Mary is here too.
We
Oh
already-
no, this is gonna be a long lockdown.
I just finished eating my candy. So
Oh,
I bought
Yeah.
these candies and they're from England, and it's
My
like
candy.
sour apple and cherry like fused together. They were so blah. I don't know why I was hoping that it would have much flavor to it, but I guess it was like typical England. It wasn't too
I,
bad.
uh,
But I ended up hating it though.
damn it! A lockdown. Lock into the inside of this room together with you guys. Damn it! Just when I just ate my brown beans and onions.
Fuck.
Oh, what a shame.
Well,
I'm sorry. I'm amazed. What you thought something English was going to have flavour? Oh my God!
No.
Their food is cardboard right now. We did an article where they've got cardboard food on the shelves, literally, and that's
Yeah.
even more flavourful than what they normally eat. So wow.
Well, they also they had at this store. I don't know because they also said these were authentic Australian candy as well, and it said like strawberry licorice I don't know, but it had like a picture of a kangaroo on it, and I don't know. I went
Oh,
for
it has to
the
be Australian if it has a
yeah,
kangaroo on it.
I know. So you knew it was authentic when, right? But I don't know if they were just like
Yeah.
pulling your leg and just needing you to buy it. But I ended up buying the sour candy, but that was a big mistake. But I'm baked and I ate it anyways.
Yeah, most of our kangaroo food's sold to fucking stoners. Yeah, it sort of happens that way. It's a marketing ploy. Uh, yeah, I'll just tell you that. Don't buy anything with a kangaroo on it. Okay, it just never ends well. Okay. In fact, an interesting thing we had nowadays, people do actually eat kangaroo steaks, and I've been told the best way to do it is along down the back. There's a section of fillet. What you do is carefully slice it out so it's long and thin. And then once you've got that, you give it a little bit of a tenderizing with a meat mallet, and then you throw it into the bin and you go to a restaurant. That's the best way to eat kangaroo. It is fucking terrible. It is like I wouldn't even make shoes out of kangaroo meat. It is fucking horrible. Our first Australians have been here for 50,000 years, and they don't even touch the shit. So they would have found a way to cook it by now. No, don't touch kangaroo stuff. It's horrible. They hop away for a reason, and we're happy about it. Anyway, so back to my kangarooish things.
Well, yep.
What other food stuff you been importing, Mallory? It sounds like you're getting an international cuisine flavour about you. Any other good things?
No, no, no. That's about it.
Well, maybe
Well, we
we
have
should
the
see
famous.
about getting you some Dutch and some Swiss things.
Oh yeah. I'm quite good in actually now creating some goodie boxes for people, which I enjoy. But I usually start asking, "Do you have any allergies?"
I should say I should just send her stroopwafels.
Hmm. Good choice. Good choice.
The only thing though, it's only sold in Australia. I heard it's like musk candies. It's like these long pink sticks.
Yes, that is correct. They are musk sticks.
Do you
Yeah,
like them?
I sort of do. Yeah, you throw them in the ice cream or something like that. So if you have a banana split, you'll have your banana, the ice cream inside, a bit of chocolate topping, and you might put a musk stick in. But normally you put a wafer. Yeah, no, they're kind of full of sugar, and yeah, I don't go and buy them now. But kids love them.
Kind of
They're a
like
little party trick.
fuck, right?
I
And you guys
googled
don't have those, God.
I googled Musk sticks, and literally the first hit on Google was Elon Musk. But
It tastes like Elon Musk's musk.
No, thank you. I will pass on that.
I would eat that.
Oh, damn it.
In fact, we have quite a cultured diet here in Australia. Like, we steal lots of things off the rest of the world, like meat pies, we claim as ours, and they're terrible at the football with beer. In fact, there's a great Aussie tradition. This is one that only comes in Australia, right? When we're playing Australian rules football, the goal umpire, because we have a small score and a big score, there's a 6 point, which is a goal. When they kick a goal, the goal umpire puts two fingers up, sort of flicks them like the goals, and his fingers are about 8 to 10 inches apart. And now, when a player's going to have a shot and he gets it between, what us guys who are Collingwood supporters, and we're world famous, we're like the Liverpoolians, we're totally yobs. Um, as the guy's coming in to kick the ball, everyone yells out, "How big is your dick?" And then when he kicks the ball through, the goal umpire signals the goal, and then everyone yells out, "Bullshit," implying he's got a 10-inch dick. And the funny thing, even the goal umpires laugh at it. They can't help themselves. They just crack up. They're trying to be prim and proper and professional, and all we ever do is try to fuck them up. So Australian sports aren't about the sport. It's about being a clown in the crowd. Whoever the biggest clown is the winner of the day. I have taken the honours a couple of times.
I see. I think some people are beating you to it and being the clown of the crowd, which would be all the Florida man.
Yeah, it's a sort of it's a Florida man without the police charges. But at the cricket now, right? A game you're there all day in the hot summer sun. you get evicted for sculling a beer. You can't chug a beer full down, otherwise they throw you out. That is un-fucking Australian. We're kind of a bit upset about that one. It's only happened this year.
Okay.
And sorry, I took that in a weird direction there. Sorry, I'm concentrating on cards and
Yeah, well,
politics.
you know,
Oh,
that's
So
that's
you're not
that's-
allowed to drink a whole beer in one go. Did
that's
I?
right.
the-
Apparently,
so they
well,
come. No,
they
no, no,
used to
no.
have
Look,
this
listen. There's
procedure.
still one zip left, guy officer.
Yeah. Do you know what we do? We actually inject vodka into watermelons, and you take the watermelon into the cricket and eat the watermelon, so you get drunk on vodka, because you can only buy light beer. And they thought, we'll sell them light beer so they won't get as drunk. The problem is now we all know there's light beer. We go there and have a preload at the hotel beforehand. So rather than go to the games and get drunk, we get blind rollingly drunk before the game. So I kind of don't understand the drinking mentality of how clever we really are when it comes to getting blotto. It is a national pastime. Anyway,
I mean, I can live with that culture over there. That's like, I think I would feel right at home there when it comes to the drinking culture.
yeah. That was funny in the days of the backpacking. A lot of people would come and stay at the backpacker intending to see Australia for, oh, nice hand, a flush, eh? Intending to see Australia for 6 months, and they'd stay at the hotel for the whole 6 months of their visa because they just had, I don't know, it was beer and bands, and yeah, you were right on the hub of Melbourne, so you didn't really need to go anywhere. There was all good sporting events nearby, so yeah, we used to hijack a lot of people's holidays that way. It was good fun.
Oh, I can believe you completely. One of the fun things I heard about Australian backpacking. That's yeah, you kind of need to prepare for that a wee bit. Uh, though, though it was fun actually. My niece, there's nephew and niece, right? Okay, I always get that wrong. That's on me. And she was like, "Oh, I think birds are so nice." And I'm like, "Oh, you don't know anything about Australia, do you? You don't know anything about New Zealand, do you? There are birds which attack you." uh, yeah.
It's funny how those birds are famous for attacking people because, in fact, Mallory's actually seen me feeding one of those here. I have one that comes up to my door and I feed them bread.
Yeah, we see what you're
So
doing.
the dread of attacking magpie, they're only friendly if you're unfriendly to them.
No, no, no. You're training.
Boomers. Yeah,
You have trained them to attack
yeah.
tourists. The
That's what I was
boomers.
gonna say. He's
Boomer.
gaining trust and raising an army.
Don't teach them to read. That's just my 5 cents. Just don't teach them to read.
Well, technically it would be an air force, but yes, I do have a magpie force on my side, so I will be taking over the country at some stage. It is a coup.
Yeah.
As of course we know the emus did well. Imagine the magpies that can actually fly. They have the ability to attack. In fact, geez, I should do that. Well, now I'm getting ideas.
Yeah, we have several plans to gain to succeed at Operation New Holland.
True. Well, I
Yeah.
thought the tulips were a better idea myself, but okay, if the tulip fails, we'll just use the Magpie Air Force. Okay, good. You'll need to send in some ground troops from over there. And of course, we would use the dedicated Canadians to do the winter operations because they know how cold it can get. So we get any cold places.
And otherwise we'll just deploy the windmills.
Oh yeah, not the windmills.
But the windmills are the nuclear option.
I mean, don't get me started. I will send out troops with yodeling. Believe me, they will leave on their own accord.
Mm.
Well, if I remember rightly, our first movie we did, wasn't there a giant crayfish that was electrocuted. We could probably use the wind turbines to electrocute giant crayfish and feed the world. Speaking of which, we've got a movie coming up, haven't we, Ardawen? I thought I'd give us a little
Oh
bit of a
yes, we
plug.
do. We do. Providing that technology won't fail us. Yeah, we have. I believe we have Robinson Crusoe.
Yeah. And tell me, did you guys get that story at school, or is it something that they only taught us back in the 19th century? Did you guys get it as a part of your curriculum or something?
I know. I no, not necessarily at school. I think I learned about it from my parents, but more like about it.
Right.
Like I know that
So in
I
some
know
of-
that Robinson Crusoe is a thing, and I think back in my time we had like children cartoons that about a Robinson Crusoe, which was of course a complete like parody of the actual story, but yeah.
And the movie itself, though, has got a lot of what was in the old books too. And I'm not going to spoil it because seeing it wasn't part of anyone's sort of growing up in school, it's actually a funny as fuck story. And when you watch it now, it's kind of dated, but it does, but doesn't. It's a dated story, but it's also got a real nice implications of modern times. So now I can't really talk about it though because I wouldn't want to spoil our wonderful event coming up at 8 p.m. UTC Wednesday.
Yeah. No,
And plus,
because
it gets the benefit.
otherwise people won't go watch us at 8 p.m. UTC on Wednesday.
That's right. Because of course, at 8 p.m. UTC Wednesday, they may have something else to do, but yeah, but we also do want to coax them in. And oh my god,
No, but these guys here, they don't have a life, so they'll absolutely be there on 8 p.m. UTC on Wednesday.
as the plague, are you guys getting locked back in with the plague again, or what's sort of happening over in Europe?
We're relaxing restrictions a little bit. Stores are back open. Um, that's pretty much it. And in exchange, they ask us to wear medical masks instead of cloth masks,
Hmm.
but it's not mandatory. And theaters and bars are still closed.
Mm-hmm. Interesting.
But
So people can't go out and hug each other and watch music, but you can still. What happens for us now? Like you can go and get a Subway or your food or any of that sort of stuff, or supermarkets are still going.
yeah,
But to go into a place and just, I don't know, buy a pair of pants, you need to have your little vaccination card. It's sort of fucking weird. I don't know.
no.
To me, it's
Here
neither here nor there.
they're thinking about doing that here, but there are several parties on both ends, not just the conspiracy parties, but there are also parties on the left that aren't a fan of requiring vaccinations to go into normal stores. So there's still
Mhm.
the. I think it's gonna happen. I think it is gonna happen. But yeah, it's not quite it is not cut and dry yet.
Here you had to do the uh have your vaccine pass uh, ID for whatever to go to the movies or
Yeah,
sit into dine, and then
here too.
uh now we're back into lockdown where you can only do takeout food. You can't dine in, but you could still go shopping. Which they said they were gonna um limit how many people are in stores, but I walked into like Walmart the other day and it was fucking packed. Like shit does not make fucking
Yeah,
sense. And next thing you know, my friend's like, "Oh, I have band practice." I was like, "So that's allowed?" Like it does it there's
Yeah, it's
with but then before the thing, it was we were not allowed to sing or shout or do anything like that. Like it's so fucking mixed up. Like with
yeah,
this
they
fuck
they
it.
they they actually because always when the rules change here, there's a whole press conference, this sort of thing,
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
it's
they
so
here.
inconsistent.
and
Same
they
here.
and they kind of try to explain that the difficult thing right now is with making rule with constantly changing the rules around COVID is that there's always gonna be weird situations where
Yeah,
the one thing that something is so that something is not allowed. That sounds really weird compared to things that are allowed because you can't make these rules up on all the exceptions. So you have to generalize with
yeah,
you have to make generalizations with the rules, and there's always
it
going to be weird crooked
yeah.
things that
It, it just seems like Walmart's always like in the clear. They're like, oh, we could have many people touching shit, as many
yeah.
people in an aisle. We, as long as people keep shopping, we're okay. But everything else, fuck them. You know, it's like. But then I'm like, oh man, like. But then it's like, oh, do we like consider like Canadians just wait outside in line to get into the Walmart? They're just gonna leave and we're gonna lose profit. Just do this rule exceptions, and it's so weird. Meanwhile, these little stores that are on, like, I live downtown, so it's all these
Yeah,
like homemade stores and stuff like that. They're all shut down. It's like,
yeah.
okay, like,
That
it's
was
so fucking
that was the
ridiculous.
case here, and now those stores are allowed to be open again. Um, they were planning on doing it only on appointments, so that you had to make an appointment first, and then
Yeah,
to limit it to limit the amount of people. But actually, all the mayors of the major cities asked the government not to do that because they said it would be impossible to to keep under control to maintain because then you pretty much have to patrol every store and check the paperwork of every store if they are only accepting people that made an appointment ahead of time. Just, we don't have the manpower for that. So the government said like, well, if we are gonna open up stores again, then we're gonna open them all the way up again.
yeah, I,
Okay,
yeah,
well, here's one that I found amazing is I've cruised into Aldi, lobbing along with the trolley, and I got to the chicken, and all the chicken sections kind of half stripped out, but there was still choices. And the girls there doing a
yeah,
little bit of packing. I said, like, what's the story here with all the chicken? Apparently, all of the abattoirs have had a big infection, so their production's down to about 30%. So obviously the chicken store is only 30%. So okay, I grabbed whatever and threw it in. And I'm cruising thinking, okay, chicken's restricted. Looking around, not much other panic buying. I cruise past the fucking toilet roll and it's deserted. It's clean. Everyone's grabbing Dunning roll again. I'm thinking,
oh, for
what the
fuck's
fuck?
sake, what is that's a fucking mental illness, I swear to God. But then even our stores here, like, a lot of stuff is we got a lot of empty shelves, and it's on the weirdest things, like it's just man.
Yeah, but I'm at least glad somewhat that's so because things like hairdressers were closed too, and unless you're someone like me who can just be like, I take the electric razor and I shave everything off and I'm done, you know. I'm I'm
I
I'm
just
I'm glad that there's now some people that over the
like
course of the next couple of weeks have normal hairdos again.
I don't know. I haven't even gotten my haircut since COVID started. Like every time it feels like I need a haircut, the hairdresser's is closed, and then finally when it's open up again, I'm like, ugh. But then when it's closed again, I'm like, fuck. But now I'm like, ah, fuck it. I don't even care anymore. I'm walking around looking like Bigfoot. Uh,
Hello.
it's
Wait. You are Bigfoot if you have the shoe size to prove it for. Then we can talk about that.
Sasquatch. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? It's winter time, so I'm just.
I mean,
what I will tell you is,
my grandpa used to call me Sasquatch, so I have a 48, 49 here, which is translated into US. It was 13, around there. I don't remember. But
You mean skis?
how or sliced up plastic bottles. That's what my dad always says. Or what's it called? Where you put your flowers in.
flower
Vase?
pot.
Flower pots is in the rectangular ones. That's what I have for feet. So
In fact,
I have,
he wants
I have
a
huge feet. And they give me.
Facty would like a picture of the Mallory Sasquatch if he could have one. He's made a request in the chat there, Mallory. So if you could attend to Facty, he'd be a happy
Find me on
camper,
Facebook.
I think.
Find me on Discord, Facty.
I'm intrigued about this Sasquatch stuff too. A lot of people would be mistaken now for gorillas, wouldn't they? And I mean, Ardawen, well, he's basically owned up to being a shaved fucking gorilla. So I don't know, guys.
No. I would
Don't-
never. I would never admit to being a gorilla, because I don't know if you guys. I don't know if you guys heard, but gorillas aren't exactly packing. So no, I would never admit to be a gorilla.
I don't know. This banana may change your mind.
Mm. And tell me, have you not? So you can look us all at the table and say you haven't flung excrement at anyone in the recent past. Come on, be honest. We have the security camera footage. Okay.
Yes, Boomer. We have it.
a lack of answer is still an answer there. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, did you guys
No,
hear?
I don't. That's why. Well, I do. I actually do. That's why I'm trying to coax the answer out. Okay. We'll just glaze over that one.
Yeah. It's just,
Oh,
I was gonna add. Did you guys hear about those police officers that got fired for ignoring a robbery in progress? Because they were playing Pokemon Go instead.
Huh.
Oh my god. Is this recent?
Yeah, kind of.
Pokemon Go's been out for a while, man. These wow. It's just, what country was this?
The US.
Is that even a question?
Well, I don't know. It's just the Pokemon Go's been out for so long. I'm like, I wonder if it happened in Florida. It just seems everything weird happened
Los
there.
Angeles, but it was in 2017. No, it was in 2017, but the court document recently surfaced. Because what happened was they weren't just fired. They were also smart enough to fight to fight their termination, as if they found it unfair that they got fired for playing Pokemon Go while there was a robbery in progress.
It was an evolved Eevee. You know how rare that is, boss? He's like, yes, quite. All right, move along.
Yeah, your honor, it was a shiny Pikachu.
I'm concerned. Well, anyway.
So yeah, they.
I don't know if you can catch it up, Ardawen. There actually was a real fun thing happening in Germany. They had both sides of the protesters for the situation in Germany on the streets at the same time. It's like, oh boy, that could have gone wrong. Luckily, nothing happened. Nothing.
Well,
Yeah. But you never know. That's true.
But I haven't. No, I didn't hear about that. No. I only hear about the bad stuff.
Yeah, but it could have gone really bad. So.
No,
Are you going to give us some sort of background on it? Because
sometimes you just need to punch a Nazi.
it's basically the guys who are for the regulations for got out and did the demonstration, and there was even a picture. Oh, look, there's the idiots out again. Then somebody put it, dude, they are all wearing masks. Like, oh, well, that's not from the other side then. But then it turned out that's actually that also the other side did go out in the same cities to do the same thing, and the police was a bit on its verge to interfere or do anything, but luckily nothing happened during those protests, both sides. So
Well, to be fair, your regular old pro Corona demonstration is not a Antifa demonstration. So usually,
I'm sort of,
usually the the black regard of the Antifa stays home with that sort of demonstrations.
hang on, guys. Look, I've just got no concept of what happened there. Can you just backpedal it? I don't. What was it? What
the,
was the
this-
demonstration? I've missed it all.
they demonstrated for the regulations they put in place in Germany, but also the countersiders who protest against the regulations they put in place in Germany. They
Yeah.
both were on the street in the same time in the same cities, which was
Oh,
Yeah, usually in Europe, Boomer. That's for context. That is probably the context. Usually in Europe, when like the left and the right are both demonstrating in the same in the same city, it's usually a bit tense because they if there isn't like if there isn't like a whole line of police in between, they'll start fighting, and even if there's police in between, yeah, they start fighting. It's a mess. But
right.
the difference is, of course,
Okay.
that this is a Corona demonstration. There are more normal people at that sort of demonstration, but on both sides. So it's not. It's. I understand what you're trying to say, Flint, but it's not as volatile as your normal anti-racist demonstrations and that sort of thing. Those can be heated when the righties are counter protesting, but otherwise it's usually not that bad with these kind of demonstrations. More normies. Which also keeps the more heated people home.
Well. This
Damn,
is an
damn,
interesting
damn.
pot. Interesting pot. Oh,
Nice.
good, nice. That was a good one.
That was a good one. Yes.
Come on, you got to yell and carry on a bit more. That was very
Suck it!
unmellowy.
There we go. I
That's
went
all.
as
That's
far
there it is.
as far as I can go to do that yell.
There it is. Okay, that's what we
But
want
yeah.
to hear. Gonna bad winners. We need more bad winners.
Oh shit.
oh blimey.
Oh, just getting back onto that thing beforehand, right? On the Pokemon bit. So imagine if they put up in the wanted posters, they actually gave each criminal a Pokemon code. So here is the criminal, and if you get this particular criminal, you get one of these Pokemons. That way, they kill two birds with one stone. They'd get the crooks, and the cops would get their Pokemon collection happening. I reckon that's a fucking winner. We could do this across police stations across the world and change crime fighting as we know it. This is fucking
Okay, we,
big.
we make the
Sorry.
suggestion to Interpol. I think that we'll pick up on that advice.
Well, yeah, but here's what we do: we set up a program like that.
You gotta
But
catch them all.
we won't raise the police budget, so that they have less money for police officers. So there is also less police officers on the street. So it's also a roundabout way to defund the police.
Yeah, and could you imagine the crime reports? Be careful, this particular Pokemon is armed and dangerous. He is yellow, very quick. His special moves are whatever. It'd actually be a fucking really good thing. Make it fun. You'd want to get up and go to work, wouldn't you? I love this idea. I'm going to write that down too. We're getting some good ideas today.
Yeah.
We're on a roll.
Uh,
Absolutely.
hmm.
Eh, there was a
I agree completely.
sudden
Absolutely,
silence.
absolutely agree on that.
No, I'm just rolling. You can't roll and play cards at the same time. You end up rolling your dope into cards and they taste terrible. It's not the go. Oh my god, someone's got to have a straight there. I'm sitting out because I have to get more money because Mallory stole it all. Come on, guys. Who's got
Zoink.
the straight? Who has it? Oh, there we go. Ooh. Ooh.
That's an easy way to get
Ooh.
to lose your.
Ooh.
Double sucking bitches. Okay, I'm good now.
Okay.
You realise you're paying for dinner, don't you? You've got to pay
Oh, that's
for dinner if
fine.
you
You could have
come
your
home.
kangaroo steak, or I don't know, like fancy over there. And
Crayfish and oysters, that'll do.
it'll still be owing.
So, how is everyone's year starting?
Like that.
Times two.
It's a mood. It's descriptive and it fits.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. So basically, I'm gonna start off writing my bachelor thesis, which will be starting next month, and my friends that really want to move or have a storage hobby room where we can do stuff. And I was like, yeah, if we can do it in like when I was able to cancel, move out of my old storage unit in March, then I could say, okay, I'm fine, I can do that. But progressing into the semester will be even worse for me to do that. Like, yeah, if I'm gonna sign off of on the contract, I want to be there when it happens. So I'm not somebody who should be doing that while I'm writing my bachelor thesis. So I told them rather not to do it while just during this semester anyway.
Hmm.
After, yes, but not now.
Well, man, you have to do what feels right, man. Right?
And also kind of feel a little bit taken advantage of them, but I don't want to pin it down. But still, my other friend still owes me about 800, bit more than $800. So
Oh man, this
it's
sucks.
a part of
Money and friends is always tough, man.
yeah.
Mm.
We
Mm.
look into it, and he should be paying back now this month. If he doesn't, then it's like, yeah, hey dude, either you start paying back now, or
Yeah.
I'm gonna do other stuff
Okay.
with your settings.
Yeah.
I mean, he didn't pay for the rent for about 6 months, so
Yeah. Well, luckily, you have some poker just in distraction, right?
yeah, that's just that.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah.
Mallory, do you have anything like to look forward to this year, or are you starting your year with anything interesting?
I'm not sure yet.
Okay. Well, that's an answer too. Yeah. Well.
it's it's
Yeah. No.
it's all up. It's really up in the air. I am. There is no certainty. I have. It's it's gonna be a roller coaster, I'm sure.
Well, here we go on this
Well,
roller coaster ride. We know, right? Uh, Boomer, do you have anything in? Did you start your? How did you start your year? Because we're like in the third week of
well,
the year.
yeah, bubbling actually, because I landed what is a subcontract job where if I provide stuff for someone, I get paid for it, and it's involved with a news agency here in Australia.
Oh,
So that's kind of good. Even though I'm semi-retired, it suits me. It's not the job you would want if you're wanting to pay off a house or, oh, I don't know, buy a car. It's not something you can rely on. It's actually technically piecework, but basically in my little neck of the woods, there's no one out here to do it. So anywhere within my 1 hour, if a particular story comes up, I go and take some happy snaps. So I've got a new camera, I've got my car all happening, and I get paid for what I do. And if I don't do anything, I'm on a bit of a retainer, which is marginally more than what our government benefit is. So it's kind of okay. It's sort of, what would you call it? Semi retirement, possibly a job. So technically, I start employment, and that is today. I become officially, and I also can write. So if I write my stuff and they use the stories, I get paid for that as well. So it's really what they use. I get freaking, I exchange for cash, which is better than trying to make a dollar out of YouTube. So, which is
sounds
never going to
okay,
happen.
man. Sounds okay.
Yeah, I didn't expect to get it. I sort of applied. I did a media course last year, a digital media course, just on basically the difference between an iPad and a fucking iPhone and whatever else, that sort of shit. And this is to get you how to learn how to apply for jobs now, like through LinkedIn and all that shit. And the girl there, Marie, said, "Look, this job's come up in Horsham. Go for it." And I'm like, "Piss off! I won't get this." She said, "You will. People of around your vintage with this sort of qualification, go in there. There's not many people." So I took this attitude of, "Don't go for it. There's going to be thousands of people." There was only three of us applied for the job. You know what I mean? You always think there's going to be so much opposition, I won't bother. So never ever let that cloud your thinking. Always have a crack because you've got a chance. If you don't go, you've got no chance. And I end up landing a job. So it's like, fuck off. How did that fall in my lap? I was just going to bludge and be retired. But no, now I've got to actually go out and do things. But it's good because it'll keep me motivated and, I don't know, something to look forward to, I guess. So I'm kind of looking forward to my first assignment.
Yeah, happy for you, man.
And right now, tourism is the big thing of this area. So tourist based stories, and they actually want to know where we have, right? I'm on the borders of Lake Tolondo, which is a rather large lake. Um, and what happened, they built a boat ramp here about 10 years ago, and then they sold all the water out of the lake. The lake dropped and it's never come back to the original level. So this famous white elephant boat ramp has never launched a boat, and yet it's a great motocross jump. And I was mentioning this, so they want kind of, what do you call them? Interesting stories about things that didn't work. The government fucked it up. They financed this thing and didn't look at where the lake level was going to be. And you know what it's like, government trying to do things. They try.
Yeah,
They've
Yeah.
certainly try. They do.
Well, I do think of people in government though, because what I've got to be is fair and impartial in the reporting. You can't do it from a medium, from a certain angle. Like I can't go in and say if there was trade unions here, it'd be all much better and so forth. You can't jump on that platform. You got to do. Well, I'd love to do the Rebecca Madden style of reporting, saying Djokovic is a fucking asshole, but you can't do that. Apparently, you got to be prim and proper
oh,
about it.
what that?
So, yeah,
Far more
I'd love to
entertaining.
report that way. Yeah, it would be more. In fact, maybe I should. I'll do the Aussie man style of reporting. That'd actually probably work. We used
Oh,
to have a guy
room
doing.
style reporting.
Yeah, we used to have a guy doing it. 10:30 News here called Clive Robinson, and he was just this real. He'd come on. Okay, the news today, really pompous, and yeah, I'm not doing that story. That's boring. This is crap. And he'd just go on about, and everybody liked it. This is probably 25 years ago. I remember him doing it, but it was news with Clive Robinson. It was terrible but good at the same time. He was just so good at news reporting because he just didn't give a fuck. That's it. So don't give a fuck reporting and be the go. Anyway, so that's my year coming up. I'm looking
That's
forward to what it brings.
sounds good, man. Sounds good. Yeah.
Also, Platterwalk's releasing a Flurf game at some time this year. It's been 2 years in the making.
Huh.
He used to do little game streams. Oh God, did we nearly get him taken off the air? That's the trick.
Well, what I
So you know what? We'll actually. Yeah,
go ahead.
no, you go.
No. I had a much longer story, I'm sure. So go ahead. You had a probably just a loose thing.
No, I forgot. So give us your longest story.
So yeah, as for my year, I you know what? I was kind of my whole life I've been easily distracted, sometimes a bit hyperactive, easily to forget things, and sometimes simply unable to do things, just not doing things I have to do. So I decided to, you know what? Let's might be a good start of the year to go see a doctor and try to get a diagnosis for that, and maybe some help with being less easily distracted and shit like that. So I actually started my year by calling the doctors for an appointment for that.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
And
Oh, sorry, I wasn't paying attention. What did you say there? Oh, I was distracted.
and did you get any drugs?
Well,
That's the big question here.
no, I kind of noticed that I had 4 weeks of vacation and I had bought new ventilators for my PC, and I literally did absolutely nothing all vacation, including screwing in those new ventilators in my PC, and it's not a hard task, and I just simply didn't do it, and I was like, you know what, I'm sick of this. I does it make me happy to just don't do things that I actually kind of want to do? Let's see if I can maybe get some help with that. Getting rid of that a little bit, or at least improving it. So yeah,
That's a good thing.
yeah, that was actually for me a bit of a big step, but I'm kind of happy that I did. So to me, it's good. To me, it's good news.
So, will this make you a better card player? Because I somehow am a bit at odds if that's the outcome.
No, it would not make me a better card player.
Oh, look, a squirrel.
No, it's not that bad. That's the thing.
Really?
That's why I never got like diagnosed for anything when I was a kid, because it was never I was never the super hyperactive kid and the super quickly I had problems concentrating, but it wasn't as bad as most kids with ADD. You know, it was just noticeable, but because we also had kids with ADD in my class, those kind of stood out in that regard. And it's yeah, but that is funny enough, and I'm not saying it's ADD because I don't want to self-diagnose, but with a lot of people who got several diagnoses in their mid-30s themselves, you all hear that's basically the same boat that they were in. That they the same things that I'm tripping over, they kind of tripped over, and they kind of had the same thing. Like, you know, it wasn't bad enough to stood out in the youth. So yeah,
Thank you.
that's
You're
what
welcome.
happens.
Keep the change,
Yeah,
you
nice.
filthy animal.
Yeah, arsehole.
I
Look, I'll do a diagnosis for both of you. You and Fleet have both got fucking arsehole, okay? That's my diagnosis. You heard it here first.
Hey, Mallory, high five.
High five.
Uh,
So yeah,
that's good stuff. I hope you find some way to resolve the issues.
Yeah,
It's
you know, yeah.
that's
To
the
me,
first
to
place
me,
to
it's
start.
yeah.
The
To
fir-
me, it just I kind of had enough. You know, uh, I kind of had enough being just annoyed with myself for not having done something
oh, I feel you.
that I was supposed to do, and it kind of kept annoying me, and it was kind of, you know what, let's see what this does. So yeah.
So I call that a mice. It's professionally procrastination. So yeah, sometimes I get really into mood into doing that, and I basically put off the making the presentation until this weekend. I have it on Friday. It's like, I mean, I already had half of the presentation anyway, so
Well, that's the funny thing, right? That is something where actually have to put more effort in, and that is usually something that I do manage to be able to do.
yeah.
Because then it's something, okay, I need to sit down for that. It's not something that you do do in a couple of minutes. It actually costs a lot of effort, but just but especially with things that you know that don't cost a lot of effort, it's somehow hard to do.
Hmm, I see.
No, he did not, but we'll see. I haven't been to the doctor yet. I only made an appointment, so we have to see.
Oh, what was that? Really high pitched noise.
Yeah, I
Ow.
don't know.
Oh, that beep. Oh, that was probably my vaporizer. Sorry. Uh, yeah. Um, but yeah, my first week of work again.
How was it? Awful, I guess.
Well, in my first week of work, I earned myself a bouquet of flowers as
Hmm.
a thank you. Yeah. There was this apparently was this really important sort of presentation day with some higher ups in of the university, and I just kind of gave them some basic support, just saying like, "Oh, hey, if you want to do this, you have to do this," and oh, sure, I can help you do clickety clack here and clickety clack there, you know, really simple stuff. It was some Teams work, you know, Microsoft Teams, and then just basically just preparing Microsoft Teams for them. Teams
Okay.
is a
Yeah.
video. It's just like we use Jitsi, but then Teams is the product from Microsoft, but it's a bit broader than just that. Anyway,
It's
it
broken. I mean, I had to deal with it a couple of times, and at one point, I actually was so angry. I got into the car and drove
I
over to get have a meeting with the other person.
I
Like,
don't know. I have no idea what you're talking about. I work with Teams all the time. I never had any problems with Teams. Teams works fine.
I have issues with it. Their Linux
Any
distribution is a bit garbage.
Then don't lose Linux. Uh, but
Get out.
no, but anyway, you know how it works. It's not rocket science. You don't even need to be an ITer to know how it how it works. It's pretty easy, and that is just all I did. Is just making sure that the call was working, because there was one person that was in self isolation, and well, making sure that the sound was working. And as a thank you, they gave me a bouquet of flowers.
Nice.
It was my first week after Christmas vacation, so it was like, well, if I have to start the week like the year like this, I can deal with that. Yeah.
Have what was it? I had before the New Year's, I did some tutoring for a girl who was struggling in maths, and I mean it's higher
Hmm.
yeah, higher level up maths, as in it's preparing you to go to a university. And then I went through her with all the stuff which she had, and I got to talk
Hmm.
to her
Yes,
about
you went through her, huh?
she is underage. Just saying that out, it's really disturbing me. Sorry, Audrey.
Okay, sorry.
Uh, I would never do that.
Okay,
Uh,
my apologies.
okay, so and then she told me about about half the class is failing, and the other half is going to shining colors. Like, yeah, that's not right. You should have a gradient through it. And if something like that happens, there's two options: either you really have a bad student patch, or the teacher is crap, and you should go to the director and tell them about it, and not just alone but with the other people, and tell them about it, because that is an issue. And because we also had that issue at, as was meant to the almost to the same school, and the teacher basically then lost their privilege to teach us at the end of the, of the year. And actually the co-rector, the vice rector of the school, came and taught us that what we needed to know for the exams. And another class actually was behind about 3 months in the schedule in mathematics and local chemistry, was it, I think. So she really did a number. So I helped that girl out to have some more math knowledge, and told her, yeah, if you have any more questions, just ask me. I tried to do it. So
Yeah, it's uh, teaching is,
it,
there are so many teachers who can.
yeah, that's a huge thing. And but I think more important
Well,
is that some people get
or
feedback or get fired.
they can only teach with they can only teach kids who grasp what they're teaching. That's usually what it is.
Uh,
They're decent enough to teach the material in its basics, in the sense that if people if it clicks with people, then they're good,
mhm.
but they're not good into improvising. And okay, what if the story that I'm telling isn't clicking with people? Because I had a German. One of the reasons my German is absolutely terrible
I
is
wouldn't
is
say that.
my German is terrible. The reason for that is that my German teacher, he was from Germany, and he didn't understand that we didn't immediately understand German.
Oh, okay.
He
So no, actually, something like that goes on my nerves, because that's something important. When I teach something, when I teach someone something, I want to somehow make sure that they at least grasp what I was trying to tell them. I know in a classroom setting, you cannot always do that, but at least what you can offer to people is like, yeah, hey, people, if you have issues learning a subject, I'm here for you after class, and you can do stuff. And
we were a class
yeah,
of 10 people.
that's fairly small. So
Yeah, special education, small classes, and we were a class of 10 people. He had the room to give decent
uh,
lessons, and
to accommodate you with
yeah,
better
and
teaching
all
skills.
of us had grades with him of like threes and fours, and maybe a five on our report card.
What's your
1 to 10.
1 to 10, and 10 is the best,
10 is
or
the best.
It's like
Yes.
Wake me when you're finished, guys.
Yo, you can jump in. You can jump in with anything else. With anything.
No, I
Really the
can't.
point.
No, I can't take this anywhere. Oh, guys, come on. Sorry, it's just really, it's not exciting. I'm sorry to say it, guys. It's just unmonitoring. Can we just like, put some excitement in it? Come on.
I
Okay,
was
back to
talking about
teaching.
teachers. You can jump in. You can jump in about your own teacher experience.
Come on.
No, I couldn't. No, I just can't take it. Classroom, guys. People learn at different rates. Okay, if you want to
Okay.
learn shit, our best teacher was the one who took us out to do it. It's just sorry. It's just getting into a I'm sorry. I'm going to sleep here. It's all right. It's just, can we up it a bit? It's just back and forth. Yeah, we understand.
Okay.
teaching. I just don't like. I just don't like classroom situations. I never have. I've always preferred the actual result rather than the actual process. Sorry, guys. I just had to. Yeah,
Let
we're
us
getting
see.
it's
We understand. We understand.
we're coming up to 2 hours, so we're going to have to start wrapping it. Yeah, I just want to get some pace happening. Yeah, sorry,
Okay.
guys.
Nope, no problem. Something else which hit me but like a brick wall was like I joined this one ham radio club, and this Saturday they just asked me, hey, do you want to be part of the leaders, as in the board? Like, what? I've just been part of them in like a month. Like, thank you that you think of me to do that. But yeah, this
Well,
caught by surprise. It was fun.
you know what's also surprising, that when you're a fugitive from the government, and you're getting arrested because you're being spotted on Google Street View. That's what actually happened to a
Yeah.
mafia fugitive in Spain. He actually got arrested.
Yo, well, that can happen.
He had been on the run for nearly 20 years, and they spotted him on Google Street View, and they were like, "Hang on,
We know that guy.
We actually had a similar one here in Australia where a guy was on the football and they did kicked a goal and ran the replay, and a copper went, hang on, he looks like one of those, and he actually got locked up. He was another fugitive, was caught on a sports replay. So yeah, that does happen. You got to be careful if you're on the run. Don't go to the football or big public events.
Oh,
It can catch you out.
this was just him going to a store, and just this Google Street View card just happened to pass by."
Yup.
Yeah. Hey, I did bring up an interesting one yesterday on the stream with the US gang. Apparently you can walk around filming people with cameras all the time. That's, so I can technically walk up to someone and just stick a camera in their face. Now, what would happen if you were part of witness protection program? Because, I don't know, the mafia wanted to kill you, or I don't know, some crystal meth heads decided you were the one that put them in. Do you have a right to say to someone, dude, my privacy's kind of life-threatening here.
Depends
Can
on
you
the
go away?
country.
Like in Europe. Yeah, so in Europe, can I come up and stick a camera in your face and you say you have no right, or do you have to put up with it?
I think here in the Netherlands, and it's not in Europe. It's not. I think it's even differs per European country. Because from what I know here in the Netherlands, they can film you without permission, but they can't publicize you without permission.
Yup.
Unless you're somewhere in the background. So if they're like filming like a busy street, that's a different story.
Right.
They don't have to stop everyone in a different street in the whole busy street and ask all of them permission to be in camera.
Yeah, but if we're, say, walking off and there's a guy there filming, and you can say, hey, pixel me out, please, he's got to do that. You've said to him, you don't have the right to put this up. But apparently in the US, that's why these soft sits are. They can stuff a camera in your face and actually get you caught out. Like, if I decided that I didn't like you because, I don't know, you were living next to me and I got busted by the police and my meth factory got my friends put in jail. I don't like you. I see your face on the news and I know you're at that station. That's really put your safety at risk. Now, I think this rule in America where they can stuff a camera in, it came up when Princess Diana got her incident, right? Where
Yeah,
if
the
you hire a
press.
publicist, you're open. If you hire a publicist, you're open slather. So Russell Crowe, Taylor Swift, whatever, they've got a publicist, therefore they can be filmed. But us guys who don't have a publicist, I still think we should have the right to privacy. But apparently in the US, not the case. And
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
know, dude. That
Here
sucks.
it also kind of depends on news value, basically. So it's when there is when yours when yeah yeah when when there are certain situations where it's in the quote unquote in the public interest for a journalist to put your face in the newspaper without it being blurred, then it kind of gets a sort of sketchy between like, well, journalistic freedom because they are reporting specifically about something with news value and your privacy, and I think it can get kind of dodgy there illegally, but overall, it's like it's like no, absolutely not without your permission.
Yeah. Well, even on the news, when someone's going into jail, they've got to pixel them out. Even though the
Yeah,
person probably is guilty, they still have to be pixeled out. And children, you're just not allowed to show someone who's a minor on the TV. In
um,
fact, they've got to suppress their names here. You can't release a minor's name through media. So I'm curious, this US stuff seems to be open slather.
and I
Yeah.
think how is it in Australia? Here criminals too. They're called the first name, and then the last name is only an initial.
Yeah.
So you have
Oh,
like
well, I
you have
never
like
think of
Robert. You have like Robert M.
Or at some cases, it's even just pseudonyms and not even their name,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
protect the privacy of those people.
Yeah.
Uh,
Of course. But usually it's like when it's with criminals, there are in front of the court is there like Robert M or Marco B or something like that. Yeah.
Yep. You can't. Also, our courtroom scenes are sketches because you can't film in a courtroom to give ideas of the layout
Mm-hmm.
of the courtroom because people might want to shoot the magistrate or something too. So this is weird. So these soft sits. I mean, like you put a camera in some people's face, mate. It's I don't know. There's some people here who just punch you. So I was just curious as to what happens over there.
Yeah.
Sorry to
And
drag that one out a bit
no
too
no
much,
and
but yeah,
and actually I
yeah,
actually think that at one time we had the awkward situation where a celebrity there was someone was whose name was known. He wasn't necessarily a celebrity, a super celebrity, but whose name was known, became a criminal. So first it was it was like Jack Nicholson, and suddenly it was Jack N.
yeah. Okay.
Well, that's kind of funny. Yeah, because when you're famous because of with your name, and when you're a criminal, because of the privacy laws, they have to censor your name.
Well, there are common names like, believe it or not, my name is not that common, and yet me and the namesake were both registered to the same job agency in the same area, and this is a smallish country town area. So the odds of having a John Smith, a Russell Crowe, someone like that.
Oh,
One of
true.
my friends had the name. His name was Henry Mitchell, who was also the name of his neighbour's soapy star. So whenever he got pulled over by the cops, what's your name? Henry Mitchell. Oh yeah, you're a neighbour's guy, are you? You know, like that's sort of a false name. You know. So yeah, I was just curious on what happens in Europe and how it goes across borders as well. You know, because people nick over the border to avoid police. So yeah. Anyway,
Yeah,
mm,
and there,
we're coming up towards. Yeah. Go on. Go on.
yeah, but that's what I was gonna go to. That we're gonna coming up to the 2 hours.
Yeah, well, 15 minutes before, so should we start wrapping up and shilling a little bit and so forth?
Sounds good. Yeah. So let's start with Flint, who usually doesn't have anything to show, but who knows? Have you have anything to show?
Ugh, not again as usual. Nothing. But we will see. Maybe at one time I will have something to chill out.
Oh.
Yeah, but not today.
Well, what about something interesting you've seen? Like I find Simon Whistler is a great YouTube creator who's got lots of good stuff. Have you been watching anything fun and exciting that you might want to share? And thought, hey, that was so good. I got to tell people about that.
I mean,
They'll let the
for,
world
tho-
know.
for those who are not in the loop, I mean, of course, you can go watch the Skeptic. I think his style is quite amusing, and I like his approach to the stuff. And also Emma Thorne, which I think is just lovely, and I like her how she approaches stuff with her approach. Really lighthearted, and yeah. So if you haven't already, go check them out. Otherwise, good stuff.
Okay. Sounds good. Mary. How's it going? Do you have anything to show? I guess not.
Mallory,
Okay.
Mallory. My make duck is
The coffee has failed. Yep, she's hiding under the table. Shiny things. Look, oh no, she's there. Shiny
Yeah,
things.
yeah.
Get the laser pointer out.
Yeah, the mic. I think that the mic is broken. Or something.
Well, Globies can't tech.
Yeah, no, Globies can't tech.
Uh,
Oh, that's what you get. Well,
okay.
Boomer,
Okay.
do you have anything to show?
ow.
Maybe something,
Well, I'm gonna
something on 8 p.m. UTC on Wednesday.
That would be Robinson Crusoe. What a fantastic thing.
Hello?
Yeah, that's
Hello.
coming up. Ah, you're back. Okay. What do you got to shill?
I'll be on the shills later, that's for sure. Maybe.
And you
Okay.
There's gonna be more activity in the asylum. I've been trying to collect looking through all the Cards Against Humanity decks and picking out the worst ones. More movie nights and stuff like that, so that should be interesting.
Well, you should also maybe just
Right.
play some Jackbox games.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
That-
too. Slowly
Jack
getting the
Box games.
asylum more active and ready, so yeah, should be good. Ah.
Sounds great. Yeah.
Okay. Well, also on that note, we actually had Bunker 33, our best ever month for views last month in December. Yeah, the little squiggly line you see on Social Blade, it went right up. So whatever it is, people are watching us probably to hate us, but that's good. Any watching is good watching, I believe. So we had a good one. Yeah, we've got Robinson Crusoe coming up. The US guys are doing their normal stream. They did one yesterday as well. And they're also going to be doing, I think, what is Friday evening, UTC. They were doing Cards Against Humanity, which Zumi sort of hosted 2 or 3 nights ago. So that was actually pretty good too. So we're running a few more light-hearted streamy game things like this poker game. So good work out of them. We've actually hit a bit of an algorithm-y thing there. We're doing well.
Sounds absolutely fine to me.
Yep.
So yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I think that we had a lot of fun. Mary Flint, thank you for coming.
Oh, thank you.
Yep.
Yes. Of course, Jin and Facti in chat, also thank you for coming. And yeah, Boomer, thank you for coming. I had fun. I know that you fell asleep. Sorry for that, but always feel free to always just change the subject on us.
It's not a problem. Okay, my technology's hopefully good when I get my new battery, so I won't be up and down with my internet connections. Yeah, it should all be good. And geez, there was a couple of things to bring up too. But anyway, I sort of forgot about it because I didn't do a notepad. I got out of bed late this morning too. But anyway, I'm basically off to say hello to Planet Walk and give him a bit of grief because he deserves it, my little Kiwi friend. So it's an Anzac stream coming up shortly.
Well, sounds like a lot of fun. So I guess people should check out Planet Work. And with that, I guess we're gonna see you guys Wednesday, 8 p.m. UTC.
No
Bye bye bye
worries.
bye.
Bye.